Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Let us see the second part of the chapter. One winter morning, I see Sahib standing by the fenced gate of the neighborhood club, watching two young men dressed in white playing tennis. I like the game, he hums. Now, one fine winter morning, the authoress saw Sahib-e-Alam standing by the fenced gate, by the gate which was having a compound fenced, was standing at the gate of the neighborhood club. This club was a tennis club, and in this tennis club there were two young men who were wearing white color dress, and they were playing the game. Authoress found Sahib standing near the gate, and she asked him a question. Before she could ask the question, Sahib answered, or Sahib told the author is that he liked tennis very much. He hums. Content to watch it standing behind the fence. Content means Sahib was satisfied to see the game played by the two players by standing near the gate of the, by standing near the fence. He was satisfied to see that the players are playing the game. He also want to play, but he cannot go and play when these players are playing because he is a poor child. He doesn't have proper clothes to wear. He doesn't have instruments which are needed to play this game. That's why he contents himself. He has contented himself. He has satisfied himself just by standing near the fence gate and seeing the players. I go inside when no one is around, he admits. The gatekeeper lets me use the swing. So Sahib-e-Alam even told authors that whenever there is no player inside the court, whenever there is no player inside the ground, Sahib-e-Alam goes inside and he plays alone. The watchman, the gatekeeper, always lets him use the swing, the net, to play the game. Sahib too is wearing tennis shoes that look strange over his colored shirt and shorts. Someone gave them to me, he says in a manner of an explanation. Now today, when the authoress met Sahib-e-Alam, he is wearing tennis shoes, white color shoes over his feet. These shoes look very strange because they are discolored. He's strange over his discolored shirt and shorts. This shoes doesn't suit him over his discolored shirt and shorts. The shirt that he is wearing is discolored, it is faded. And the short that he's wearing is not of his. So before the authoress could ask him about the shoes, he himself told the authoress that these shoes doesn't belong to him. Someone have given them. Someone gave them to him. Somebody gave these shoes to him. He said, he explained, the fact that they are discarded shoes of some rich boy who perhaps refused to wear them because of a hole in one of them does not bother him. Now, when the author saw this pair of shoes, she found out that in one of the shoes there was a small hole, and because of this small hole, the person whose shoes these were must have discarded them, must have thrown away. These shoes must be belonging to a rich boy. That is what the authoress could make out when she saw the shoes condition. There was a little hole in the shoes. Because of that, the rich boy has discarded these shoes, has thrown away these shoes, and so Sahib has found it, and so he has started wearing them, and that doesn't bother him. For one who has walked barefoot, even shoes with a hole is a dream come true. But the game he is watching so intently is out of his reach. Now, for the boy like Sahib, he has walked barefoot. He has walked without shoes, without chappal for many miles, many distance, much distance. And today, when he has got a shoes with hole, is even like a dream come true. So for Sahib, no matter the shoes are old, one of the shoes has got a small hole, doesn't matter for him, doesn't matter to him. For him, getting the old shoes is also like a dream come true. But the game that he's watching, tennis game, is out of his reach. He cannot go and play the game. This morning, Sahib is on his way to the milk booth. In his hand is a steel canister. I now work in a tea stall down the road, he says, pointing in the distance. Next morning, when the authoress saw Sahib, today he was in a different attire. He was in a different appearance. In his hand, there was a steel canister. There was a steel can. So it was understood that he was working in a tea stall. So Sahib told that he now works in a tea stall down the road. He pointed the shop in a distance. So he works in the tea stall selling tea. He has got a steel canister, a steel can container in which he sells tea at different places. Next point, he says, I am paid 800 rupees and all my meals. He says that he is paid rupees 800. This must be per month, not per day, of course. So he is paid rupees 800 per month plus meals, plus food. So when authors asked him a question, whether he liked the job or not, his face has lost the carefree look. So when the authoress asked him a question whether he likes the job or not, his face had lost the carefree look. When he was a garbage collector, that time he was free. But today he is not free. He has been hired by the tea stall owner to sell tea. So his time has been, he has sold his time to the tea stall owner. And so today he says that author has found out that there is no free look on his face. Authors also gave some explanation. She says that the steel canister seems heavier than the plastic bag he would carry so lightly. When he used to go for collecting the waste material, when he was a garbage collector, that time he used to have a plastic bag, and that plastic bag was much lighter than the steel canister that he is carrying today. So the steel canister is very heavier than the plastic bag. His shoulders are small. He is a very young boy. So this steel canister is too heavy for his shoulders. Means he has got a very big responsibility. Now, the bag was his, but the canister belongs to the man who owns the tea shop. Sahib is no longer his own master. So it is understood that as long as he was a garbage collector, he was his own master. He had a small plastic bag. He had a plastic bag. It was not heavy, it was very light. The plastic bag was lighter than the steel canister. But today, as Sahib works for the tea shop, the steel canister belongs to the owner of the shop. And so today, Sahib-e-Alam is no longer the master of his own life. He has been hired by the tea shop owner. This is the life of Sahib-e-Alam. The next story talks about another child of the same category, poverty, is Mukesh. Mukesh also has a dream. I want to drive a car. Now let us see the detail about Mukesh's life. Mukesh insists on being his own master. I will be a motor mechanic, he announces. So Mukesh, a very young boy, has a dream that he wants to become motor mechanic, and he also wants to drive a car. So the authoress, when she came across this young child, Mukesh, the same authoress asked him a question that, do you know anything about cars? Do you have any idea about cars? Mukesh answered that, I will learn to drive a car. He answers, looking straight into my eyes. So when the author has asked him a question whether he knows the car or not, he said that he will learn to drive the car. He was looking very straight into the eyes of the authoress. His dream looms like a mirage amidst the dust of streets that fill his hometown, Firozabad, famous for its bangles. Now, when authoress looked into the eyes of this young child, Mukesh, she saw that it's like a mirage amidst the dust of streets. Now, mirage is nothing but when you walk in the afternoon, when in the summer season, when you walk at the afternoon time over the streets, you could feel the mirage, right? So this kind of dream was seen by authoress in the eyes of this young child, Mukesh. Mukesh lives in the town Firozabad, and this town Firozabad is for bangles industries. Every other family in Firozabad is engaged in making bangles. So every family in this Firozabad is engaged in the business of making bangles. It is the center of India's glass blowing industry, where families have spent generations working around furnace, welding glass, making bangles for all the women in the land, it seems. Firozabad is considered to be the center part of India of glass blowing industry. Now, there are so many factories, there are so many industries which has got big furnaces inside them, which has got high temperature and boils this glass, converts into liquid and then cools it down. And then as it comes in the liquid form, solid part, these people, young children, old people, they sit and they make bangles out of this glass. Just imagine the factory where they work has got furnaces. Furnaces means it is like a tank, like something in which they keep on increasing the fire temperature and they heat the glass so that it melts. That is called furnace. There is a welding of glass. There are so many furnaces in these factories. Amidst this condition, these young children work. It's a hazardous place. It's a dangerous place for children. Now, as this is a central part of India, glass blowing industry, family have spent their generations working in this condition around furnace, welding glasses. Mukesh's family is among them. Mukesh's family is also one of them, means the people who live in this place. None of them know that it is illegal for children like him to work in the glass furnace with high temperatures, in dingy cells without air and light. Okay. So the people, those who work over here, they don't know the law. The law states that it is illegal for children like Mukesh and other people to work in such glass furnace which has got high temperature. They are dingy cells. If you see the word dingy cells means when we go inside these cells, when we go inside these rooms, when we go inside these compartments, you cannot see properly. It's very gloomy. You cannot see properly, means there would be a lot of smoke, white color smoke. You cannot see properly. So the dingy cells without air and light, no air circulation, no light, means there is no facility. There is only heat inside this factory because of the furnace. And in between this high temperature, children have to work. That the law, if enforced, could get him and all those 20,000 children out of the hot furnace where they have slogged their daylight hours, often losing the brightness of their eyes. If this law is enforced, means if this law is put into action, this law will not only help Mukesh, but along with Mukesh, there are 20,000 children working near these hot furnaces in the factories who slog their daylight hours. Slog, if you see this word slog means who work hard, who do hard work whole day, wasting their time and lose their brightness, lose the eyesight. Why they lose the eyesight? Because they continuously look into the fire. They continuously work in front of fire. So because of this fire, sometimes no light, lot of heat, light, no air, no light connection, continuous flame, fire. Because of all these conditions, children lose their eyesight. Mukesh's eyes beam as he volunteers to take me to home, which he proudly says is being revealed. Now, Mukesh's eyes started beaming, means started shining, as he told the authoress that he wants to take her to his house, which has been newly built. Now, see the condition of the house. We walk down stinking lanes chalked with garbage. Now, as both of them started going towards Mukesh's house, the lanes, the small path, road was stinking. Stinking means a lot of bad smell was coming because of the garbage that was chalked up. Lot of garbage was there at the street near the houses. So it was smelling very bad, stinking. Past homes that remained hovels with crumbling walls. So near the house, near the homes, lot of garbage was lying. And because of that, it was very stinking place. And the walls of the house were crumbling, means very weak wall. If you could punch wall, if you kick it, the wall will collapse. It had wobbly doors. Wobbly doors means again the shaking doors, shaking from one side to other side. No windows, crowded with families of humans and animals coexisting in a primeval state. Once you enter into this house, they are not actually a house, they are like a shack, like a slum house, slum dwellers place, tent, hut, you can say. So the moment you enter inside, you see walls are crumbling, wobbly doors, no windows. The shack is very small, but the moment you enter inside, it is filled with families of humans and animals living together. And when you go inside, you could see at one side there are animals, other side there are human beings. Very bad condition of the people of this place. He stops at the door of one such house, bangs a wobbly iron door with his foot and pushes it open. So they stop near one house and Mukesh starts banging on the door with his foot, the wobbly iron door. The moment Mukesh started banging, hitting on the door with his foot, the door started shaking. That is wobbly iron door. The door started shaking from top to bottom, and he pushed it open. When they both entered inside, we enter a half-built shack. Now it was a half-built house, half-built tent. In one part of it, thatched with dead grass, is a firewood stove over which sits a large vessel of sizzling spinach leaves. So inside the house, we see there is a, on one part of it, we see thatched dead grass. So on one part of the shack, there is a dry grass, dead grass, dry grass. On one side of the house inside, we see there is a grass lying. In one part of it, thatched with dead grass, means the one part of the house was made with grass. Now the walls are made with bricks and cement, but the wall of the shack, one side of the wall made with dry grass. And there was a firewood stove over which large vessel was kept having spinach leaves inside. And on the ground, in large aluminum platters are more chopped vegetables. So on the stove, firewood stove, large vessel was kept. In that vessel, spinach was getting cooked. And on the ground, there was a large aluminum platters are more chopped vegetables. So there are many vegetables kept in the platter. They are chopped, they are cut